pleasure to have this guy on this show or any show. This show, by the way, Inside Coverage on Yahoo. I'm Andrew Siciliano. This is two-time Super Bowl champion Eli Manning. Good morning to you, sir. How we doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. We are taping this on the morning, even though the pod is released tonight. So all kind of rubbing our eyes and trying to figure out what happened last night at the NFL. I assume you were up when Jaden Daniels got hurt. It's a 31-point game. He's running a zone read in a game that, quite frankly, was over in the first quarter. Eli, for a guy that is like so beloved, like on and off the field, like how difficult that is as a fellow quarterback is it to watch that?
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see any injuries because you know how hard these guys work and how important it is to him. He's coming off of an injury. It's probably why he's in the game at that moment, just because he's been out for 3 weeks. Hey, let's get our guy back in rhythm a little bit. Let's get some confidence going. Let's have a good drive here. Let's get a touchdown, and then you have the injury. I guess I guess you're thankful it's not his throwing arm. At least hopefully can heal faster from that, or it won't be something that could be career ending in that sense. Just thinking of the worst scenario, but you hate to see injuries. You hate to see anyone get it. It's part of the game, unfortunately. So hopefully these guys respond well. He's young and should make a full recovery. We're praying for.
I know you're a competitor, okay? And your career's over, so you can admit it now. Was there ever a moment where you were in a game late in a blowout? And again, I know you always want to be out there. And you went like, dude, what am I doing? Like, why am I still in here?
No, I mean, I think there's always that, yeah, just that competitiveness where you want to, build on something. Just, hey, let's get a drive. Let's go score. I think that was kind of what you always said in those situations. Hey, hey, we're down. It's been bad. We're getting beat. But hey, that's kind of what you'd say on the sideline. Let's go get a drive. Let's go score a touchdown. Let's have something to feel good about is going into next week that we can make some plays. We can get some drives going. It doesn't have to be a total negative everywhere. So, I think, that's probably what they're thinking in Washington a little bit, just with that scenario, just because, it wasn't just this game. It was kind of been a few games and they haven't, he hadn't played much. And so, I mean, there's probably some times where I said, you know what, I wouldn't mind right now if coach took me out. I wouldn't mind just kind of, moving on to the next week. But I think that builds a lot of toughness in these players. That's kind of why you hang in there. And after a bad one or you're playing a bad game, hey, you got to work yourself out of this sometimes. And it's not sitting on the bench. It's not watching film. It's being out there, making the plays that hopefully gets you out of that funk.
Okay, but is it different when you're watching a Giants game? Because yesterday, and like the future, Jackson Dart, the future of the franchise is out there. It's under 2 minutes. It's 3rd and 10. He's running. Now, like they throw the touchdown a couple of seconds later to Gunnar Olszewski, right? But the game's over. Like, are you as Giants fan Eli Manning going like, oh my God, like we're going to get this kid killed?
No, I think a young quarterback, that's kind of part of the growing process is that, these are all important reps and they're all important times for him to go through that and to just, hey, does he have that? Let's grind it out no matter what the circumstances. Is it a belief that we can get things going? Because it's working on a 2-minute drill. Like you need work on those 2-minute drills in that scenario, because you might you're gonna get into that real action eventually, and you're gonna need a 2-minute drive to go win a game coming up. And so these are all critical moments where, hey, you got to go out there and go make the plays. And this is something you can watch. This is what we did well. This is what we didn't do well. Learn those scenarios, watch the film from it, and make notes and get better from it.
Has the kid hit you up for a restaurant reservation recently?
I don't think he needs my help anymore. I'm calling him trying to get reservations now. He's the talk of the town, and he's the young guy. My son, Charlie's dressing up as him for Halloween, so he's the new quarterback. I'm happy for him. Happy, the Giants got a guy that they like, and it's not tough. It's a tough scenario. He's got guys banged up and receivers out, but he's competing. He's making plays and he's rallying the guys around him, which is a great thing.
What would you have said if Charlie came to you and said, "Dad, I want to be Cam Scatterboo for Halloween"? What would you have said?
I love it. You know, I mean,
Like shirt off, the whole thing.
yeah, I think this, yeah, sure. I don't think Charlie has the physique to pull off the Scatterbill right now. I don't think he had, you know, I told him he's got to get in the weight room a little bit if he's in a, you know, start taking off his shirt or want to wear a tank top. He hadn't earned the right to wear that tank top yet. So he tried to wear the chains, darts chain to school today. We had to, you know, had to nix that. So no, that was a Halloween costume. No more costumes.
Hold on, was it real ice or was it plastic like from the
No,
costume store?
no, just an Amazon special. So just you know something something that yeah, just you know just for the costume, just for Halloween.
Hey, how do you navigate watching what your good friend Daniel Jones is doing? Right? Because I mean, aside from yesterday, he's lightening up there the talk of the NFL. He's your buddy. I assume you're happy for him, clearly. But how do you navigate watching him and then at the same time as like the guy whose jersey is retired go, wait a minute, we cut him?
um, Hey, you know what? I'm happy for Daniel. That's all I can say. And he's playing extremely well. Um, you know, they had a rough one you know, first Pittsburgh, who's always a top defense, and that's just part of the NFL. You're gonna have those days where it's tough, and he's been through it before, so he'll bounce back. They're still a good team. They still had you know, played that game close, and even with 6 turnovers, we're right in it into it. So I think that's always a sign you're on a good team when things are going bad and you're making every mistake, but you're still finding ways to stay in the game and give yourself a chance to win at the end, which they're doing. So, you know, I understood the circumstances from both sides and what the Giants had to do and what he had to do and how it was going last year with him there. So, you know, I've seen a couple guys leave the Giants and go on and play pretty well with Saquon, with Daniel, and you know, just that's just part of football. So I'm you know happy that Daniel could go somewhere. And you've seen that with a lot of quarterbacks. You've seen it with Baker Mayfield, and how about Sam Darnold? You know, being in a number of places, and these guys kind of getting that second chance and taking advantage of it. So it's you know, just I think it's just a reminder playing quarterback in the NFL. It's not necessarily, you know, in the old days, it used to be, hey, you know, we were not expecting this guy to play until his third, fourth, fifth year because that's when you're mature enough to know everything and handle everything. Now we're kind of throwing him in early. And just because a guy has some early success doesn't necessarily mean it's going to continue to go smoothly. And you see that with a number of guys. It's usually kind of that fourth, fifth year when guys start figuring it out a little bit.
Two more quick things for you. Number one, because you mentioned Saquon, their Hard Knocks is going to be back in the NFC East, which means back with the Giants coming up in a couple of weeks. What are we going to find in there?
I don't know. I'm not sure what we're
Are you
finding.
anxious about it?
I'm nervous about it. Yeah,
Okay.
last time the Hard Knocks came, it wasn't great stuff with the off season and everything going down with Saquon. I think the idea was, oh, you know what? Hey, all season we don't want the distractions of the regular season, then being in training camp. You know, too many distractions. This all season thing sounds much better. And then you have, you know, obviously didn't think about everything going down with Saquon and contracts and you know the possibility of him going to Philadelphia. And then he does go to Philadelphia, and like the last thing you want as a Giants player sending your best player to you know in division rival. So you know, but that's what makes the show fun and interesting. There's always things that you learn, kind of what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on in the locker room. It's you know that access. And giving people this kind of that inside scoop is what's made that show and a lot of these shows so popular.
And this might be like an off-season sit-down question, but I'm gonna throw it at you regardless. I had a conversation with Jason Kelsey a while ago about how he and Travis are so genuine and like the love for each other. They're best friends comes through every episode they do. Like I don't maybe it's an issue with me and my brother. I love my brother, but there are days where we give one-word answers to each other via text and we don't have time for each other in our lives. Like maybe if we're both on the road, we can sit down, have a good meal, and actually connect. But it comes through with them, and it comes through. I'm getting to it with you and Peyton. Like, how do you maintain that energy and like put on a show, working all the time with your brother when I would have to think you guys are normal human beings. There are days when he is annoying the heck out of you and vice versa. And you've got stuff with the kids and he's got stuff with the kids. And honestly, you don't have time for each other that day or that week. But like, hey, the lights are on and I actually have to put on a show and pretend that today I like him. How do you do that?
Well, I think there's a respect because I see how important it is to him and how hard he works at watching film and talking to coaches and sending me long voice memos. And so there's a respect to the preparation. I think that both of us put through it and to want to make the show good. And so I think that's the driving force. That, yes, there's definitely some times when he's sends me an email at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night saying why I didn't respond to the email that was sent at 9:45 on a Saturday night asking about, what questions we want to ask Baker Mayfield. I mean, I'm like, when I see that, I'm like, well, because it's 10 o'clock on Saturday, I'll do this tomorrow. Like, we have till Monday. I don't have to respond to every email right away just because you responded to the email and you don't have plans on a Saturday night. But and so yeah, there's some of that that's just common brotherly stuff. But I think I also don't have to see them that often. I see them on a screen. I see them on Monday night. I get lots of emails and texts. We kind of, I feel like during this stretch, like we're right in the middle of a stretch of 6 weeks in a row of doing Monday Night Football. Like I don't think we'll talk on the phone during that time. I definitely won't see them during that time. So it's usually like when we're on a couple bye weeks or around the holidays, we'll actually like get on the phone call and talk about other things besides what the Cowboys are going to do on third down. So I think that's what kind of keeps us from truly getting on each other too much and keeping it fun.
Because God forbid you'd have to see him that often,
Right. I
right?
mean, yeah,
Yeah.
if he's in my house and like eating my food and just doing making a mess, then we might have some issues.
I appreciate you. Good luck dealing with that guy on Monday night.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.